Moving from politics to the real big story, because this is what affects students around the country. It's an extremely challenging time to be a student today, from battling with higher cutoffs as more and more students get 90s every year to a change in IIT entrance exam rules. The HRD Minister eventually wants one nation, one examination. He says that Class 12 exams deserve more attention as well. The IITs ask, is our band equity being diluted? For the moment, there's a compromise, but what does it mean for students?
After the celebrations, the reality check. Will the rising 90+ club in the Class 12 Central Board exams mean sky-high cutoffs even this year? Sources in Delhi University say that cutoffs will not go beyond 98% this year, but it's hardly any consolation for most students.
It's very unfortunate that even a 90%er cannot get admission.
The number of students who scored 90% crossed 28,000 this year. That's an increase of almost 30% from last year's 21,665. The number of students scoring 95 and above too rose by nearly 900, touching the 3,000 mark.
Higher the number of 90%ers, higher are the cutoffs. So very soon, this empty corridor is going to be flooded with anxious faces, many of them toppers, just hoping to make the cut.
But Class 12 marks will now become vital for IIT aspirants as well. Starting next year, a new entrance test format for IITs and all government-run engineering colleges will give weightage to Class 12 exams. For almost 2 years now, the IITs had been opposing these changes.
जो 12th board है, उसकी कोई महत्व नहीं.
Having seen the objections, this is a compromise which has been accepted at least by all the directors. I can't say if all the senates are going to say yes to it.
Unanimous in terms of what maybe in the council, but definitely as we see, IIT Senate's views have been clearly overruled without giving reasons.
The question is, should school exams, often criticized for encouraging rote learning, decide the course for higher learning? Umi Kulsum, NDTV.
And joining me on that debate tonight, I'm joined by one man who's going to be most sought after in the days to come. That's Dr. P.C. Jain, Principal of Shri Ram College of Commerce. That college, of course, had the famous 100% cutoff last year. He says we won't have the same this year. Also joining me tonight, Professor Sanjeev Sanghi, President of the IIT Faculty Forum, who attended that meeting with Kapil Sibal where the compromise emerged. Also with me tonight is Dr. Bakul Dholakia, former head of the IIM Ahmedabad, currently the Adani Infrastructure Institute. I'm also joined by Anand Kumar of the Super 30, an institute in Patna which has almost 100% success rate in getting boys from rural backgrounds with free coaching classes into IITs. Thank you all very much for joining me tonight. We'll also go across to the people who really matter in this, young students from Mumbai and Delhi with many, many questions. First, Dr. Jain, over to you. It's a time we've seen the logic being given for really reforming the IIT entrance exam is because the HRD Ministry feels the Class 12 exam credibility is being reduced with many, many students focusing on coaching classes. On the other hand, you know, students who want to get into college like yours have to focus on Class 12 exams because of these very, very high cutoffs. Will this actually help with restoring importance to one exam rather than the multiple exams that students have to give?
I think a student comes through multiple tests from first standard to 12th standards, meaning by they are consistently performing. I mean, it is this performance, it seems sometimes that it is 3 hours job, but it has never been a 3 hours job. I have been throughout topper in my schooling to college to university. So how can you say I'm the best or gold medalist suddenly? It never happens. So whoever is performing the best over a period of time consistently, certainly they excel. So I think we should not doubt, rather we should trust our boards. They are doing wonderful jobs and some varieties are there here and there in some boards, but even then they have to improve rather than we have to destroy them, because these are the institutions which we have created to evaluate our students, and suddenly if we realize that no, these are not the good boards and we have to create one test or something like this, then what would happen? Ultimately, student will go to the coaching centers and not to the classes in 11th and 12th.
You're talking about the more ambitious proposal that the minister had suggested earlier of a national aptitude test like the SAT exams. He says he hopes to see that in the next few years. But currently, he actually says this will restore importance to the CBSE board exam because it will divert from the students who prepare for engineering exams. Do you agree with that?
I don't think so. I believe that this test maybe of 10 plus 2 or 11, that is very comprehensive test covering as many number of papers as it is required to decide as a definite stream, maybe humanities, maybe science, maybe commerce, and a base has been built up over that particular period. Now unnecessarily we are giving them diversion from this side to that side, and therefore the student becomes sometimes confused rather than focused one. But if in the higher education students are confused, then where they will go ultimately. So if they are confused, let us go even after 10 plus 2 rather than go for higher education. But higher education is very focused one, and it should be very focused one, so that we can build some good amount of research and good learning at higher level.
Professor Sankhi, we've seen the many reactions to Kapil Sibal's proposal. Some have welcomed it, saying it will actually align the IITs more to a world of today and it will help reduce the burden on students. Others, like yourself, have expressed strong reservations. We've had Chetan Bhagat tweet that this is again politicians destroying A-grade institutions. This is not the way to go about it. What did you tell the minister that day?
Well, firstly, we were called in the meeting after everything had been decided, just for 5 minutes as representatives of the Federation. And there we were just informed of the decisions. We recorded a dissent on these decisions. One thing we were told was, we very clearly said, all the senates had said that these changes should not come from 2013. If anything should start, any change should come, it should come from 2014. But this was not agreed to at all, despite all, most of the, not all, 5 out of 7 IIT senates did say that. Now saying that stress will be reduced because of one examination, well, that is really a big lie. We have not had, the scheme does not say that there will be one examination. See, you have not touched the private institutes at all. Today, all the private institutes take their own examination, whether it is VIT, BITS and all. So earlier, if the student was taking 51 examinations, he will now have to take 50 examinations.
So it's not a common engineering examination in that
Only
sense at all.
Only what has been merged is IIEEE and IIT, and this is something very wrong.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.